Good morning, Year 4. I hope you're ready for your Tuesday English lesson. I'm going to share my screen with you now. Okay, now you'll remember that this week we're writing about volcanoes. Now, yesterday we explored the vocabulary of volcanoes and we collected some words. We found out the definitions of those words and we acted them out and we came up with sign for them. Today we're going to be describing a volcanic eruption. And tomorrow you're going to be writing a short story about a volcanic eruption. So let's just, not the right place, that one. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of February, and you're going to be describing a volcanic eruption. So could you pause the video now and write this as your title and date? Well done. Okay, let's look to our first slide. I'd like us to pause this screen in a moment, and I'd like you to have a look carefully at these sentences. Now, which sentences contain two verbs? Let's just remind ourselves about what a verb is, because we're going to be talking a lot about verbs today. A verb is a doing or a being word. If you do it or you are it, then the word is a verb. Let's say that together. A verb is a doing or a being word. If you do it or you are it, then the word is a verb. Now, in this instance, it's what the volcano is doing. So let's see if there are sentences with two verbs in them. Pause the video and find those verbs now. Right then, let's go through them. I'm going to take a highlighter pen now, and I'm going to highlight any verbs that I come across. Let's read the first one. The volcano erupted and oozing orange lava. Well, our doing word here is erupted. And there's only one verb in this sentence. Let's read the next sentence. Lava exploded out of the volcano, bubbling over the landscape. Well, here is our verbs, exploded and bubbling. A streak of lightning shot across the sky. Here is our verb. The ash cloud shot over the land, rising high up into the sky. Shot is what's happening here. And rising is another verb. So our two sentences with two verbs in, sentence 2 and sentence 4. Okay, now today we're going to be describing a volcanic eruption. As we go, we're going to be collecting words, so it'll be useful to make a note of the words as we go along. I'd like you to pause the video in a moment and I'd like you to draw a table that looks like this. Perhaps you could take your page and divide it into 3 columns. I'd like you to rule it off and write one column for verbs, one for nouns, and one for adjectives. Now remember, as you go through the lesson today, you're going to jot your ideas down. So you're going to jot your words down in your table, and you might want to add the words I collect too, just in case you don't get those. And that means you're going to have a real bank of amazing words with which to write with later on. Okay, now let's go back to our picture that inspired us yesterday. And what I'd like us to do now is I'd like to see how many nouns we can see in this photo. Now remember, nouns. Nouns are PPT, person, place or thing. Let's say that together. Nouns are PPT, person, place or thing. What things can we see in this picture now? Pause the video and start creating a list in your noun section of your table of all the things that you see. Well done. Now I'm sure you've seen lots of things in that picture. Let's go through some of the things I saw. Well, first of all, I obviously saw a volcano. I also saw the sky. I can see the lava. I can see a mountain or a mountain range. I can see trees. I can see smoke. I can see lightning. I can see clouds. I can see flames. I can see smoke. If you haven't any of those words, copy them now into your table. But I'm sure you also got some different ones. Did you see anything different to what I have? Okay, now we need to describe these nouns because we're going to be creating some noun phrases in a moment. Now remember, the adjectives are the words that describe a noun. We might have adjective, adjective, noun. Adjective, adjective, noun. In year 4, we don't always just have 2 adjectives. Sometimes we have 1, sometimes we have 3. We mix it up, don't we, in year 4? Let's think now about these particular nouns. What describing words would go really brilliantly with this picture? Now remember, we thought yesterday this was quite a negative intent picture. So our writing today is going to show that negative intent. So I want some negative adjectives. Pause the video now and start listing some good adjectives for this picture. Okay, well done. So for sky, you might have got something like, for example, dark, ominous, meaning it's dangerous. Maybe for the smoke that's billowing out of the volcano, you got choking and poisonous. Maybe for the lava that's spilling out of the top of the crater, you have got hot, lethal, flowing. Maybe for the tree that's sort of standing at the front of the picture, you've got lonely. And maybe the lightning that you can see flashing across the sky, is vivid, flashing and forked. Jot any of those words down that you think you might want to use today. Maybe they're different from the words that you collected. Right, now let's think of some noun phrases to just describe the volcano. Now in year 4 we have to be really picky with our words, and we can also swap them around to test how good they sound. So for example, for clouds, how would you describe the clouds? For the lava, what is the best word to describe the lava? And for the smoke, what 2 adjectives would best describe the smoke? Let's have a look what I got. I put dark, ominous, clouds. I could have written ominous, dark clouds, but I thought it sounded better this way round. You might disagree. For lava, I put dangerous, but there's plenty of other adjectives I could have used. Hot, flowing, vivid, burning. I could have had dangerous, burning lava, or dangerous, vivid lava, or perhaps I could have had 3. Again, because I'm a good writer, I can pick and choose how many adjectives I want. For smoke, I've had pungent, or choking, or poisonous. Now, let's go back to our Perfect Planet video that we watched yesterday. Again, you'll find the clip in Classroom Dojo and attached to the schedule. We're going to now find some interesting verbs, and we're going to use this video to help us find some interesting verbs. You're going to watch what's happening in the volcano, what the volcano is doing. Let's remind ourselves what verbs are. A verb is a doing or a being word. If you do it or you are it, then the word is a verb. So what is the volcano doing in this video? As you watch the video again, jot down in your table all of your verbs that you can come up with. Pause this video now and go away and watch that clip of film again. Well done. So here are some stills from that video. You can see the power of this volcano, of its destructive force. We can see the smoke there and all the lava and the crust that's forming and that river of lava that's flowing down the mountainside and the bubbling of the lava there. Let's see if some words would work. Let's think of the verbs that would really work here. Okay, now all I've used here is ing words. I've used shooting, exploding, erupting, creeping, bubbling, frothing, oozing, smashing, smothering, spitting, choking, falling, cascading. All of these verbs today are quite negative because, again, the volcano is quite a scary, powerful thing that's obviously going to hurt people and things. Right then, let's put all this together now. We've got some great verbs, we've got some fantastic nouns and some great adjectives. It's now time to put it all together and write some lovely descriptions. So this is your task for today. I'd like you to draw your own volcanic eruption. And I'd like you to label it or write underneath it some sentences to describe what is happening in your picture. Don't forget to use noun phrases, adjective, noun, and exciting verbs. Now your challenge today, can you use personification in your description? Now remember what personification is when you give something that's inanimate human characteristics. So for example, if I go back to my verbs here, what verbs are really great verbs for personification? That's right, you could have creeping. You could have spitting. These two verbs would work for human beings. Human beings creep, human beings spit. And those would work great when you're doing personification. Perhaps this little lightning here, you can think what it looks like. Oh, it kind of reminds me of a hand twisting through the sky, of fingers just about to grab something. So I'd like you to pause the video now and have a go at this task, and I can't wait to see your drawings later and your lovely descriptions.